Hey guys, Steven here, back with another video, and today I want to talk about how I got my dream job at the age of 16, how I didn't realize at the time that was my dream job, as well as why I decided to quit and what I am doing now. I made a TikTok probably like last year. It went semi-viral, probably like 100,000 views on TikTok, and got reposted on a couple of those entrepreneur mindset pages. But I want to talk about sort of the beginning, how I realized that was my dream job, how I got it. So growing up, I felt late in the sense that I didn't pick up any sort of hobby or interest until like the 8th grade. I had seen my two older brothers get into piano and basketball like really early on, but when I thought about things that I wanted to do and like extracurriculars I wanted to get into, nothing really struck in my head. A lot of people have those grand ideas of becoming like an NBA player or becoming like a musician or something like that, but I never had that idea in my head. But growing up, I really like sports and music because that's what I grew up sort of like consuming. And so around the 8th grade is when I started my YouTube channel. So
Hey guys, it's Steven here, and this is my welcome video to my YouTube channel. I guess this is a type of trailer. Not a trailer, just a welcome.
Not this YouTube channel, but another one called Always Creating. I rebranded it.
Hello guys, Steven here, back with another video, and this is my face reveal. I honestly don't know what to talk about in this video, and I could just say that and you already see my face, so what's like.
But by the time I was 16, it was probably around 70 to 80,000 subscribers, maybe even 100,000 by that point. And even before then, I was starting to like use a camera a little bit. My mom had a camera, like one of those pony shoots, and I started filming a lot, like a lot of family trips, just Christmas time, all that sort of stuff. Nothing really special. So that's when I started picking up the hobby of just like documenting stuff. I really liked visual stuff, and growing up like in school, I also realized I loved making presentations and researching and putting stuff together, but I didn't really think of that as like a career choice, right? So when I was 13, I picked up that hobby of creating videos. I made a semi-successful YouTube channel, and then by the time I was 16, I felt stuck in a way because I had achieved everything I wanted with that YouTube channel, and I sort of entered that by mistake. And I say this because I didn't know growing up that I wanted to make a YouTube channel. And if you're wondering what the videos I posted were, I made that channel to teach people how to edit, how to use Photoshop, how to do graphic design and stuff like that, basically documenting things I learned from other people. So if you go on that channel right now, I'm still posting. But up until that point, I was making a decent amount of money, probably a few $1,000s a month. And this is me at 16, right? And the thing was, I had this perception of what a YouTuber was, and I was not fulfilling that. Like, I didn't go out to events, I didn't vlog. I really wanted to vlog, but I didn't have that personality or the confidence to vlog. And in a way, what I decided to do was compromise. So because I already had a camera and I had a pretty extensive editing experience and graphic design and all that sort of stuff, I decided to start working for free, making videos for people. And at this point, I was watching a lot of Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V.
Reach out to 50 to 100 businesses in the Richmond, Virginia area that have those roles or needs, and tell them that you're willing to intern for free or work after hours in it or look for startup.
And he had talked about how you can basically get your dream job or work for that dream person by offering to work for free. So I would reach out to anyone that was semi-interesting, did something I really thought was interesting. So I watched this podcast, which I don't think is up anymore, but it used to be called Group Chat by Trey and Jade Richards, and they actually are like maybe a 30-minute drive away from me. And they brought on their manager, who was also managing other NBA players, and his name was Randy Osei. And so I decided to reach out to him, offer my photo, video, graphic design services for free. And that was in hopes that he would let me work for him, right? And so I had followed up a few times, and then what actually ended up happening was my basketball coach at school, he had called me to his office and he had asked me about my YouTube stuff, my video, photo design stuff, and he had heard that like a Steven in the school had a YouTube channel and was making videos and stuff like that. So I actually talked to my basketball coach about what I did, and he was kind of surprised because I was really shy. I didn't really talk about that stuff during high school. And during this conversation, I randomly brought up Randy. I brought up that I was reaching out to people and trying to work for them and stuff like that. And my basketball coach had told me that he actually grew up with Randy and he was actually a childhood friend. And so later that day, he connected me with Randy. Randy ended up actually responding to me, and I had done a shoot for him at a place he was speaking at, and Randy actually offered to pay me even though I wanted to do it for free. So I had shot the whole video, taken photos and everything, and when I got home from that shoot, within 30 minutes I probably finished all the content because I was really motivated at that point. I really wanted to give off a good impression. And I was doing a lot of that during this time, like probably 3 or 4 different people other than Randy. I was doing the same thing in the hopes that they would later pay me or we would secure this connection. And the reason I was doing this is because even though I wasn't making a lot of money from the photo stuff, I was able to sustain myself because of the YouTube money that was coming in. And during that process, my YouTube channel took a big hit actually. But basically Randy was really impressed with my turnaround time, my hard work and all that sort of stuff. And so he offered to bring me to Ghana. And that was only a couple days after I met him. And so essentially that talk he was doing at that school was for something called the Rose Management Book and Sneaker Drive, which is basically this book and sneaker drive he does every single year. He collects shoes and books from schools within the greater Toronto area. He runs free events, and basically in exchange people donate, and then he basically brings that all back to Ghana in his hometown. And so essentially that year I was working with him on this book and sneaker drive. I was at all these events and I was doing side projects because he was actually managing a couple of NBA players at the time. And so when I say that I didn't know this was my dream job when I was doing it, I really didn't. As I built my relationship with Randy, he started getting me access to Raptor games. I was able to see some of my favorite basketball players, and this is when I was like 16. I was able to go to MLS games. I was able to meet celebrities. He really connected me with a lot of his network, and he was trying to get me paid as well. I do realize looking back that he wasn't as like prestigious or like high of a level that I thought he was. And the reason he couldn't pay me for everything was because he's in a very similar situation as me, where he does have money coming in, but everything's being reinvested back into the business. And a lot of times he doesn't get paid either. So at my current position, income level and all that sort of stuff, I feel like I'm sort of where he was at back when I was 16. So I turned from essentially like an intern to an employee. I was like the creative director. I would work on projects. One notable one is I created the flyer, recap video, and sort of whole creative process behind the Danny Green and Yorkdale event. He did a meetup. And so through this process, I was able to travel. I went to Ghana, obviously, Brussels, Paris. This was my first time really traveling outside of Canada without my family. I went to Shanghai with the supermodel for Tommy Hilfiger show. I photographed multiple sporting events, and I'm actually in contact with some of the NBA players that he used to manage. A lot of the photo video gigs that I get now still are actually from him. In fact, every summer I work with this basketball camp, and that was through him. And essentially I have recurring income every summer because of Randy. So I had worked for Randy from the time I was like 16 to the time I graduated high school, like about 2 or 3 years, from like the 10th to 12th grade, even partially through the first year of university. But ultimately I decided to leave and part ways. I still do some work for him if he commissions me for it. Now, a lot of people are probably wondering like why I left. I'm sure a lot of my friends who saw me travel throughout high school and go on these crazy trips are wondering why I don't work for him anymore. And the reason why is ultimately I was giving up my own project. Rose Management, which was the company that Randy was running, was his project. And as much as I was like a friend and he was like a mentor to me, and I was still making money, it wasn't my thing. And I would rather make a lot less money and build up my own thing. And during this time, my YouTube channel, basically my passion project that had been doing really well, has slowly started dying off. And so I felt like I gave up my dream for someone else's, even though I chose to make that decision. But I'm ultimately happy that I made that decision because I learned a lot about the business side from Randy. I gained a big network. I learned a lot of lessons. There were a lot of times I messed up and this affected Randy's clients or people he was working with, but he took the hit. He spent a lot of money on me, mentored me. So I think net, I learned a lot and actually helped me with my own business. I decided to quit because even this past year, I started to take less photo and video shoots, mainly because I realized that as long as I'm at these shoots and I'm commuting back and forth and charging hourly, it really is just a normal job. And it took a really big toll on my body and my health and my time, because I would be busing back and forth to Toronto, like downtown Toronto, and it would take like an hour and a half to get there, an hour and a half to get back. I would be tired by the time I got home. Then I have to edit videos that aren't mine. So over the pandemic, I've been sort of focusing on my own stuff. I've had to take some side projects here and there just to make enough money to cover my expenses. But that's essentially why I quit my dream job. All the traveling, all the events, all the people I met, the network was really cool, but I feel like I gave up a lot doing that. And so that's why I'm building this channel as well. We're only 3 videos in, but these 3 videos, although I haven't made 1 cent off of it, and I've spent a lot of time on these 2 videos, I definitely feel a lot better making it than those videos I edit for other people or those projects I do for other people. And so ultimately I want to build what Randy has built, but for myself. And I'm glad I was able to do that when I was 16 and not like 45, and finally decide, oh, I want to do something for myself. And that's basically the explanation of how I got my dream job at 16. I basically worked for free, found this connection of a guy who managed NBA players, started working for him, started getting paid, and then I quit because I wanted something for myself as well. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it was insightful. I'm gonna make a video on sort of like 9 to 5 versus entrepreneurship, because I have done both. I have done freelance, I have done 9 to 5, I have built my own business. I think people on different sides judge very hard, but in reality, me sticking with Randy might have been better for my network, would have been better monetarily, would have been better in many factors. But honestly, I'm not gonna sort of like ponder on what would have happened, because you don't really know what would happen. So I think I made the right decision. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, hopefully it helped you out. And yeah, my name's Steven, and I'll see you in the next one.